Directions for your overlapping leaves and acorns. Remember your name and teacher code. I like to start with my largest leaves first. Here's one example. Start by drawing a line anywhere, and you're going to make a V shape that's very wide. Same thing, you'll repeat that again. So this will be the middle part of your leaf. Then you'll add a very wide V, like your finger should fit in that space, on every single kind of leaf point that you see, aside from the very, very bottom stem. These should be very wide leaves, not teeny tiny, and there should be a space. Then you'll add a dip, a U-shaped dip, to connect these V shapes together, all except the bottom one that is just a straight line that connects to your stem. Make sure that these lines are very large. The next style of leaf, which will start off very similar. Draw your line anywhere you choose. I like to do different angles personally, so I'm doing a different angle coming in from the other side, making very large fat letter V shapes. And then instead of a big fat V, I'm going to add kind of a fat rainbow shape. Once again, leaving space, you should be able to fit a couple fingers in there. So you're almost putting kind of a hat shape or a rainbow shape on every point of the leaf. And they should be large. Don't draw them super tiny, really close together. Then you'll add a dip to connect those lines together. If it's too skinny, erase and try again. The very bottom ones should just go straight and touch the stem line. For the final style of leaf, gonna do another different angle yet again, and this time it's a little bit more simple, and I'm kind of making just sort of a rainbow shape on each side and connecting them and leaving a little bit of the stem at the end. And then I'll go back and add sort of mini letter V's for the leaf veins in the middle. So these aren't as large as the other style of leaves. Later on, you could add some texture along those lines with your Sharpie if you choose. To draw an acorn, you're going to make a smile shape, and then you're going to add kind of a rainbow shape, making sure this isn't too teeny tiny. Always be checking with your fingers. And then add a little stem that's slightly curved. And then you're going to make a U shape at the bottom for the bottom part of the acorn. You don't want it to be super skinny and long, you kind of want it to be shorter. Then go ahead and fill up your paper with all different styles of leaves. And when you're doing overlapping, you are going to have to stop and start your lines to create the effect over overlapping. So notice here I'm stopping where the other leaf is on top of the one I am drawing. And I'm going to keep going with this process, filling my paper with every style of leaf of my choice. Really fill up your paper and practice overlapping. You can replay the video as many times as you need until your paper is full of leaves of your choice. Then grab a Sharpie and carefully retrace all of your pencil lines. If you choose, you can even go back and add little bitty zigzags on the sides of your almond-shaped leaves to give them a little bit of pointed texture. I did this with some, but not with all of them, but you get to decide how you create your leaves. Remember, you can go back and replay the video as many times as you need to see how to draw the leaves and fill up your paper with lots of overlapping leaves. When we're painting, we'll practice using warm and cool colors. When painting your leaves, you'll be using warm colors like we often see in the fall. Colors start to turn reds and oranges and yellows. Right here I'm adding red, and I'm using the very tippy top of my brush, painting kind of slowly to stay inside of the lines. So important to use the very tippy top. Pick up your brush every time. When you're ready to switch colors, give it a good rinse and a blot. And I will begin overlapping with a different warm color. I'm painting orange on top of my red just a little bit. Just kind of use your imagination and think about the different colors we see in leaves when they're just kind of falling all over the ground. And often it's oranges, reds, and yellows, but you really get to decide ultimately how you would like to add paint to your leaves. For adding paint to your acorns to get a variety of colors, I would suggest using yellow or orange first, and then grabbing a little brown and overlapping it. This way the top and bottom part of our acorn will be different colors. Here I'm just using plain brown on the top of my acorn, and then I will lightly go over top of the yellow and even add a little bit of yellow and some orange later. This way the top and the bottom have a little bit of variety of color. However, if you just want to paint it one solid brown, that's okay too, but the experimenting can be fun and interesting. You may also choose to use green on your leaves. Adding yellow makes them more considered a warm color. But if you want, you could just stick with the oranges, reds, and yellows. It's really up to you. Just carefully go ahead and paint inside of all of your leaves and your acorns, trying the overlapping for more interest in your painting. Just like when you were painting your leaves, when you're painting your background, you also want to use the tippy top of your brush in those really small areas. It's very helpful in staying inside of the lines. Don't forget to pick up your brush every time that you make a new mark on your paper. And you can also overlap colors for more interest. So if you're adding a little bit of magenta or purple or something like that, if you kind of pick up and overlap different colors, it just creates a more interesting effect in your painting. At cleanup time, go grab some cardboard, slide your project on top, and place it on the drying rack.